Hi, I'm Mrs. D Math. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be covering multiplying decimals in 7th grade math. So let's go ahead and get started. When we're multiplying positive and negative decimals, we want to remember to follow the same rules as multiplying integers. So to review those rules, if they have the same sign, both numbers are positive or both numbers are negative, then our answer is going to be positive. And if they have different signs, then our answer is going to be negative. So just to review here, if I have a negative times a negative, my answer is going to be a positive. If I have a negative times a positive, my answer is going to be a negative. And it doesn't matter which one's negative and which one's positive as far as the larger number or smaller number, like with your adding and subtracting integer rules. So just make sure you don't get those confused. So let's go ahead and try a couple of practice problems. So first we have negative 3.5 times 1 75/100. Now, because it doesn't matter which one's negative and which one's positive, when I'm setting up this problem, I want to put the number with the most digits on top because that's going to save me from having multiple lines below the equal sign. So in this case, 1 75/100 has more digits, so I am going to put that on top, and 3.5 is going to go on the bottom. I don't need to line up my decimals like when I'm adding and subtracting, so that doesn't matter. We actually are going to just multiply the numbers, and then we're going to move our decimal at the end of our answer. So now we have 5 times 5 is 25. Then we have 35 plus 2 is 37. And 5 plus 3 is 8. So now I'm going to move on to my second digit, the 3, which means I'm going to have a 0 here in the ones place because I'm now in the tens place. So 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 7 is 21, plus 1 is 22, and 3 plus 2 is 5. So now I'm going to add my two answers together here, 5, 12, 11, and 6. So I have 6,125. Now to move my decimal. So first I can go back into the original problem and I can count the total number of places after the decimal. And in this case, it's 3. So I'll go to my answer and I'll move my decimal back from the end of the problem 3 places. Next, I need to go back and check my sign rules. Because one number is negative and one number is positive, my answer is going to be a negative 6 125 thousandths. So now I have negative 4.5 times negative 3 2/10. Well, if I go to my sign rules, since they're both negative, I'm going to end up with a positive answer. So let's go ahead and just line these up. Because they are both 2 digits, I don't need to worry about which one goes on top. And I can go ahead and multiply. So 5 times 2 is 10. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Now I'm on the second row, so I'm going to bring down a 0. 3 times 5 is 15. And 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. I can go ahead and add these up. So I have 1,440. Again, I know I have to move my decimal because that does not make sense for 4.5 times 3.2. And so if I were to round this 4.5 to 5 and 3.2 to 3, 5 times 3 is 15. So that means my decimal is going to go after the 14. I can also go back to my original problem and I have 2 places after the decimal total, so I'm going to move my decimal back 2 places. So either way you move your decimal, by estimating or by moving it, my answer is going to end up being 14 4/10, and it is a positive answer. So I hope this helped you remember not only how to multiply decimals, but also how to incorporate multiplying decimals with your integer rules. I'm Mrs. D Math. Thanks for joining me today in multiplying decimals in 7th grade math. Have a great day. Bye.